Hi, in this video we're going to be looking at some of my old sketchbook work. Hopefully it'll give you an insight into what sketchbooks are used for, what I use them for, because sketchbooks are a very individual thing. They're not often put on public display, but they hold an assortment of information: sketches, practicing, experimentation, colour work, line work, structure, anything and everything. It's like I said, it's up to each individual. The one that's being displayed at the moment was for a project that I carried out when I was in university. It's basically called Family Life, and it depicts members of my family in a typical scene. A lot of working out went on in the sketchbook: lighting, colour, mood, composition. And the drawings in the sketchbook, they're not necessarily finished. They're just ideas, fixing elements, working out things, but ultimately it would end up as a finished image in a format that I decided by the process of working in the sketchbook. Each individual element was worked out. I used life as my subject. It was drawing from life, drawing from memory, lots of things. This is the finished image. It's about 3 foot by 2 foot. It's acrylic on board. Yeah, that was done 17 years ago. 17 years ago. This next project was something I read in the National Geographic magazine about poaching and elephants in the wild in Africa, and it was a project that I decided that would be quite illustrative. I enjoyed drawing animals, but I wanted to convey a message, and the best way to do that was in the sort of composition that I worked out. I didn't want it overly complicated, quite simple. I also started transferring images via photocopier and scanner into the computer for the first time. I didn't have a Wacom tablet, but it gave me the opportunity to change colours, change tones, just generally play around and experiment. Some of the images in the sketchbook are more completed, as in composition, not necessarily in colour or structure. Yeah, I came up with a few ideas, not all successful, some were, some weren't. But again, it was an enjoyable practice, working out every element of an image to convey a message. With this, I also delved into 3D, which is what I have done for an awful lot of in the past 15 years, but this was my first introduction to it. I modelled the elephant, I modelled all the components myself. No intention of using it as a final image, but yeah, it was interesting, and it led the way to the future. Playing around with yeah, just compositional elements, working out exactly how it would be shown. And a copy of the finished piece, which was about 9 inches by 18 inches. It was painted in acrylic on board. This project was it was based on a fable about a grand old stag who was very proud of his antlers, showing off to all the other stags. basically saying he was king of the hill, until eventually he was chased by hunters and his antlers got caught in the foliage, and yeah. And this one, a lot of this drawing was specifically based on structure of the stag. Bearing in mind there was limited internet at the time, back in 2001, or at least I had limited internet, limited use of the internet. I used the telly, I used magazines, anything I could get my hands on to work out the structure, which I wanted to sort of convey the power of the animal, and especially when he was caught in the branches and the foliage of the forest that he lived in. A lot of it is strong line work. So, yeah, it was a nice project. Here are a few nearly finished sketchbook work, some finished, some final paintings, just a broad range of my work. Some were 5 foot by 3 foot, some were 10 by 10. Pencil, colour, paint. I enjoy pen and ink. I like the medium. It's quick. It's more spontaneous, I think, and I do tend to draw quite quickly. Painting is good in that it makes me slow down and think about things more, but sometimes you just can't beat a quick sketch on paper in either pen and ink or pencil. Anyway, so yeah, a quick insight into some of my sketchbook work and the way I work. Haven't done an awful lot of drawing in the last 15 years, but hope to redress that problem now, and I'm hoping that you'll follow along and we learn together and progress together. Thanks for watching, and try and catch up with the next video. Thanks very much. Bye.